Everyone smiles for the cameras at Godolkin, but the truth leaks through the cracks. Tonight, we pull at those cracks and see what spills out. The halls feel different now. Doors that used to swing open, stay shut a second longer. Friends trade quick looks that don't quite match their words. A poster about excellence hangs crooked, like it's tired of pretending. You can sense a pressure in the air, the kind that makes small mistakes feel huge. Classes go on. Grades still matter, but no one is really thinking about homework. Everyone is watching everyone else. Who's rising? Who's slipping? Who's hiding something? The school sells a simple story: work hard, be a star, but that story is only the front window. Inside, the real action happens in whispers and back rooms, in group chats with missing screenshots, in favors that will be paid for later. People don't announce their moves, they signal them. A glance in a lecture, a seat saved at lunch, a post that looks harmless but lands like a threat. It's not louder than before, it's sharper, and when everything is sharp, even a hug can cut. You can feel it most where the spotlight lives. The rankings board is a mood ring for the campus. It turns the whole week a new color. Someone's name jumps to spots, and suddenly their jokes are funnier. Their posts get more likes, their secrets feel safer. Someone else slides down, and now they walk faster between buildings and answer messages slower. The board doesn't just measure power, it creates it. Teachers say it's merit, students know it's leverage. A lunch invite from the right person is worth more than an A in any class. A rumor, if it travels with the right escort, moves numbers. And the cruel part is that the board talks back. It remembers. It pushes. It traps you in the story it tells about you. If it decides you are the next big thing, expect friends you never met. If it decides you are a cautionary tale, expect silence, even from people who still like you. Silence is also a message here. In this tension, kindness still appears, but it's careful. It treads softly, like a deer near a road at night. People share notes, offer a ride, slide an extra meal swipe, and for a second the campus looks normal. But even soft things can carry weight. A small kindness can be a receipt someone keeps for later. A small harm can be shrugged off in public, then filed privately as motive. No one forgets anything. Screenshots are forever. Even apologies feel like business deals. Sincere, maybe, but timed. You begin to learn a new rule when someone says, "No pressure," there is pressure. When someone says, "Take your time," they expect an answer by sunset. Every sentence has the visible meaning and the hidden charge under it. Most people become bilingual without knowing it. Authority adds another layer. The faculty smile with professional warmth, but they count, and they are counted. The brand is the shrine, and everyone bows. A meeting is never just a meeting, it's a weighing. You sit straight. You choose each word like it might be held up to the light later. There's a path to everything: funding, mentorship, screen time, but the path bends around things you can't see. You learn to watch the shadows moving at the edge of the room. You learn that praise comes with gentle requests attached, and those requests grow. You sign up for one extra thing, then 3, then you are so lucky to be trusted with more than you can carry. And if you drop a piece, that drop echoes. The walls hold echoes very well here. All of this turns tiny choices into storms. Do you post the clip or keep it in drafts? Do you show up to that invite or make an excuse? Do you tell the truth to a friend who might tell a friend who might tell everyone? A simple yes can open a new door. A slow maybe can close to old ones. The calendar looks full, but what you really schedule is your risk. People start building little rituals to feel steady: same seat in lecture, same route between buildings, same playlists, so that at least something is known. But the ground moves anyway, because new facts keep arriving. A name trends. A video leaks. Someone you thought was fragile shows steel. Someone you thought was solid cracks. The campus is not a place so much as a current. If you stop swimming for a day, you'll wake up somewhere you didn't plan to be. Underneath, there is fear, and there is hunger. Fear of not becoming what they promised you could be. Hunger to catch the last rung of the ladder before it lifts. Both can make good people strange. They can make bad ideas look useful. You tell yourself it's only for now, only this little bend of the rules, and then you'll be clean again. You tell yourself that everyone does it, which is true and also the trap. The more you repeat it, the easier it is to do again. Meanwhile, those who won't bend become rare. They glow in a way that draws both respect and trouble. They are admirable, and they are in the way. By night, the campus looks honest for a minute. The lights buzz. The paths are empty. The buildings breathe. You can almost believe the place is just a school. But even then, the hum of it all is in the air. Messages stack up while you sleep. Schedules get changed while you dream. When morning comes, the game resets. Not back to zero, but to a new level with the same rules. Everyone puts the mask back on, and the day begins with that same question in the chest. What will it cost to keep my place, and who will I be by the time I pay it? The name on every wall is Brink. Not painted, not carved, but stamped into the way people move and the way they think. #ThinkBrink is not just a hashtag, it's a lesson plan, a hallway chant, a test you take without paper. He isn't in every scene, but he is in every shadow. The students feel it. The teachers shape it. The whole campus wears it like a second skin. And the strange thing is most of them don't even notice. They call it ambition. They call it discipline. But beneath those softer words, it is Brink's voice telling them how high to jump and when to smile. When you step into his world, you understand quickly that image is heavier than truth. A stumble in private is nothing. A stumble on camera is fatal. Brink built the stage where talent isn't enough. You need spectacle, polish, narrative. He teaches that survival is not about being good. It's about being unforgettable. And if you're not unforgettable, then you're disposable. That is the edge everyone balances on, and the edge he sharpened. Even silence feels scripted under him. A pause in your speech can be a career move or a mistake, depending on who records it. The power of his philosophy doesn't live in rules on a wall. It lives in the fear that runs through each student. They repeat his sayings the way other people repeat prayers. Control the story before the story controls you. The world loves a winner. Become the world's favorite. Never let them see the crack in your mask. These lines float around the cafeteria, in locker rooms, in group chats, until they don't feel like lines anymore. They feel like gravity. Everyone obeys them because disobeying feels like falling. And no one here can afford to fall. But there's a secret poison hidden in his system. Once you believe in it, you can't tell where Brink ends and where you begin. Students start to wonder if their jokes are actually funny, or if they've just learned the rhythm that gets applause. They wonder if their kindness is real, or just an angle that reads well in a post. They wonder if their anger is their own, or if it's the pose of a fighter trained to look raw but polished at the same time. Every feeling runs through the filter of how will this play, and soon the filter eats the feeling. What's left is a copy of a person shiny but hollow. And yet, he inspires loyalty. Even those who see through him can't shake the hold. It's like standing near a storm. You know it's dangerous, but you can't stop staring. Some defend him with blind faith, as if doubting him is doubting the future. Others resist in whispers. But even resistance proves his req. Don't resist something small. You resist something that controls you. That's the paradox of Brink. He doesn't just build stars. He builds cages, and the students decorate those cages themselves. They make them gold. They make them glowing. But they are cages all the same. The #ThinkBrink is a slogan on the surface, but in practice, it's a contract. Post it, and you declare that you are part of the current, that you swim the right way. Refuse it, and people look twice. Why didn't you post? What are you hiding? Suddenly you are marked, not for failure, but for suspicion. It's a tool of unity, but also of division. The hashtag becomes the echo that makes every student louder, but only in the way Brink allows. Individuality looks celebrated, but the moment it drifts too far from the script, it's silenced. Everyone is unique in the same way, which means no one is unique at all. This episode drapes itself in that tension. Every scene is touched by it: conversations, rivalries, even the jokes between friends. The philosophy is not just in the dialogue, it's in the spaces between. When someone stares too long, when someone laughs too loud, when someone hesitates before posting. These are not small choices, they are survival moves. To #ThinkBrink is to accept that life is a stage, and the price of admission is your true self. The episode doesn't shout this lesson, it whispers, it wraps it in story, and lets you feel the trap close a little tighter each minute. And that is why Brink matters here. He's not just a mentor or a villain. He is the air they breathe, the script they read from without noticing, the pulse behind the whole machine. He is both invisible and everywhere. That duality is what makes him terrifying. The scariest chains are not the ones you can see. They are the ones you decorate with pride. The students smile, pose, post, rise, and beneath it all, you can hear the quiet question echoing. When I #ThinkBrink, do I still think for myself, or has my mind already been replaced? Alliances here are never written in ink. They're written in the pause before a handshake, the tag in a post, the seat you choose in a crowded room. Betrayals don't always come with daggers. They come with silence, with a look away at the exact moment you need someone to look at you. The campus thrives on shifting lines, and everyone knows those lines move faster than the weather. One day, you're someone's right hand. The next, you're their shadow, erased from their feed. absent from their stories. It's not personal. It's survival. That's what makes it sting. It's never about hate. Only about leverage. Every group looks solid from the outside, but from within, it's a puzzle of hidden motives. Friends laugh together, but behind those laughs lives a checklist. Who brings value? Who brings risk? Who might fall next week? Loyalty is conditional, like a contract renewed daily. Even laughter sounds different. It carries an edge, like people aren't laughing at the joke but at the chance to prove they belong. Some alliances are loud, full of public smiles and joint appearances. Others are quiet, built in the back of classrooms or late-night calls that vanish by morning. Both are fragile. Both can turn. What makes betrayal sharper here is how fast it travels. One word whispered at midnight becomes public by sunrise. Screenshots float like ghosts, impossible to kill. A sentence can be twisted into a weapon before the speaker even realizes it's out of their mouth. And once the rumor starts, truth doesn't matter. It's the echo that counts. That's the currency. Some students learn to weaponize this. They don't fight head, they plant seeds. They know the right person to repeat a half-truth to, the right moment to let a clip leak. They watch as the campus shifts its gaze, and they don't need to lift a finger afterward. The storm builds itself. In this world, betrayal isn't always a choice, it's sometimes a reflex. You feel the current changing, and you adjust. Even if it means stepping on someone you cared about yesterday, you justify it. They would have done the same. Everyone does it. That's the mantra. But deep down, each betrayal leaves a trace. A small fracture. You keep moving because to stop is to drown. But those fractures add up. The smiles grow tighter. The jokes carry weight. Trust shrinks until it's a rare gift. And when you find it, you clutch it like contraband. Yet alliances still matter, even in their fragility. People keep reaching for them because no one can stand alone in a place like this. Power may feel personal, but it is always shared, always negotiated. To climb, you need someone to hold the ladder steady. To stay, you need someone to catch your slip. That's why alliances form in the first place. Not out of friendship, but out of necessity. The irony is that betrayal is built into that same structure. The person who helps you climb is also the one closest to push you down. The person who catches your fall might let go if someone else offers them a hand higher up. What makes this episode different is how it exposes the cost of these moves. We see the cracks in people's faces after the betrayal. The way they hide in bathrooms or stay awake too late scrolling through comments. We see the way alliances form out of fear more than trust. The story doesn't romanticize the bonds. It shows their teeth. Each alliance carries a timer, and when it runs out, the betrayal doesn't surprise anyone. It just confirms what they already suspected. Still, the hurt is real, because even a temporary alliance feels like safety while it lasts. And in a place where every day feels like an exam you didn't study for, safety even borrowed is priceless. This cycle keeps the whole machine running. Alliances create movement. Betrayal resets the board, and the rankings reflect the aftershocks. No one escapes it. Even those who claim to stand alone are shaped by it. They resist joining groups, but their isolation becomes its own statement, its own fragile alliance with the idea of purity. And the campus watches them too, weighing them, deciding whether their stand is noble or naive. It's never neutral. Nothing here is neutral. In the end, alliances and betrayals are not two separate forces. They're the same force, just viewed from different angles. Today's alliance is tomorrow's betrayal waiting to happen, and everyone knows it. That knowledge doesn't stop them from playing, it drives them deeper into the game. They laugh louder, they post brighter, they whisper more carefully. Because, in this place, the cruel truth is simple. If you're not part of someone's alliance, you're already marked for betrayal. Power is the word that hums under every heartbeat at Godolkin. But power here isn't only about strength, or speed, or fire that shoots from your hands. Power is quieter and heavier. It hides in the way people look at you when you walk into a room. It breathes in the number of likes under your latest clip. It waits in how close your name is to the top of the board. In this place, power is as invisible as it is loud. It decides who gets remembered and who gets erased. And the cruel part is, no one tells you the rules. You learn them by being crushed under them first. This episode wraps its story around that truth. It shows how power doesn't come only from ability but from image. Image is the currency. You might save someone's life in secret, but if no one sees it, it barely matters. You might make a mistake, but if you spin it right, it becomes an asset. The lesson isn't be good. The lesson is be seen. That's what #ThinkBrink drills into everyone. Truth doesn't win. The story wins. And once you understand that, you realize every character is fighting two battles at once. the real one in front of them, and the one that will be told about them afterward. This creates the second theme, image versus reality. On the surface, students glow with confidence, posting polished clips and flashing smiles that look unbreakable. But the episode peels back those layers. We see the nerves in the mirror before a live stream, the trembling hand hitting post, the exhaustion of keeping the mask glued to the face. The image is flawless, but the reality is messy. The divide between the two grows until it feels like everyone is living a double life, one for themselves, one for the world. The bigger the gap, the more fragile the person becomes. Because the moment those two collide, the image cracks, and when the image cracks, the whole structure shakes. Loyalty becomes another theme, tangled in that tension. What does loyalty mean in a world where everyone is selling an image? Can you trust a promise if you know it might only be a performance? Characters cling to each other because they need anchors, but the episode shows how shaky those anchors can be. Loyalty is tested not in grand battles but in small choices: who you stand next to when the cameras are on, who you defend in a conversation, who you tag in a post. Sometimes the test is subtle, but the consequences are huge. The story pushes the idea that loyalty is real, but it's fragile, and it demands sacrifice. If you don't pay the price, you lose it. If you do pay the price, you risk everything else. The deeper layer is corruption, not loud, obvious corruption, but the slow, creeping kind. Power here doesn't destroy people in a single blow. It reshapes them one compromise at a time. A little lie to protect an image, a small betrayal for the greater good, a calculated post to bury guilt under applause. Each step feels tiny, almost harmless, but stacked together, they form a path, and before you know it, the person at the end of that path looks nothing like the one who started it. The brilliance of this episode is how it shows that transformation without needing explosions or battles. The war is inside, and the scars are invisible, but they hurt just the same. All these themes fold into a larger truth. The system feeds on itself. Power breeds image, image breeds fear, fear breeds betrayal, betrayal shifts power again. It's a circle, endless and suffocating. The students know it, but they can't escape it. To leave the game is to vanish, and no one comes here to vanish. That's the tragedy. Everyone is trapped, not by chains, but by desire. They want to be remembered, they want to matter, and the system offers that. But the cost is always hidden, and by the time they realize it, it's too late. And yet, the episode plants seeds of resistance. Small moments where someone tells the truth even if it costs them. Glimpses of people who care more about what's right than what trends. They are rare, fragile, and dangerous, but they shine because of how dark everything else is. The story doesn't promise their survival, but it reminds us that even in a system built on masks, there are still real faces. Even if they break, even if they vanish, their presence shows that another way is possible. And that possibility is what keeps the audience hooked, wondering if someone will finally choose reality over image, loyalty over power, self over story. The themes don't just decorate the episode, they carry it. They whisper between the lines, shaping every choice, every glance, every silence. And by the end, you don't just watch the story, you feel the weight of it pressing down, asking you the same questions it asks the characters. What would you sacrifice to stay at the top? What image would you build to survive?